Hello everyone. Welcome to Time Chat, a brand new half-an-hour show on Time Television that'll be focusing on issues that affect South Asians living abroad. I'm your host, Dr. Yvonne Khan, and I'm excited to connect everyone at home to the many ways that we can all advance as a community. Just a little bit about me. I'm a lifelong New Yorker and had the privilege of working and living in every single borough of New York City. After growing up in Queens, New York, I was able to attend high school at Bronx Science, then the combined medical program at Sophie Davis located in Harlem, New York, and after completing medical school from SUNY Downstate College of Medicine in Flatbush, Brooklyn, I've worked in healthcare and education for about 15 years now. Today, we're joined by the team at Sapna NYC. Sapna NYC is a not-for-profit organization that focuses on the empowerment of South Asian women in New York City. After starting out in the Westchester Square area of the Bronx, Sapna NYC has expanded its programs to many communities in Queens. Today, we're joined by Sapna's Executive Director, Dr. Allison Karras, and their Director of Outreach and Advocacy, Momita Zaman. Thank you so much for joining us on Time Chat.
Thank you very much, Ivan, and thanks to Time TV for having us.
Thank you for having us here today.
So Allison, as Executive Director of Sapna, please tell us a little about Sapna.
Sapna NYC is a new organization founded in just 2008 that serves South Asian women in communities in the Bronx and in Queens.
Amazing. Momita, you've had a chance to grow up in New York City. Tell us about your work in Sapna.
My work as the outreach director, and I focus a lot on reaching out to community members in the South Asian community, especially women and families. So our work in the Bronx, really, we tapped into a community that didn't have a lot of resources or didn't have an organization that was working with new immigrant families. So my experience there has been really working with women and families who may not know about New York City and getting to connect with them and helping them find different resources.
And Momita, why is Sapna focusing on working with South Asian women?
Our focus on South Asian women, one of the reasons why we're working with this community is that we feel, especially in the neighborhoods where we're working, that this is a new immigrant community, or it's a growing immigrant community. As you know, it's the fastest growing ethnic community in New York City that has a lot of unmet needs. We focus on health, education, and economic empowerment because these are the areas where we see a lot of our families struggling.
All right. So Allison, you've led a life of research, and a lot of that has been in South Asia, including Bangladesh. How has that shaped your life and later on your work with the New York City Bangladeshi community?
Well, as you may know, Ivan, I was a researcher for many years, and I did my PhD dissertation in a South Asian immigrant community in New York, and have spent a lot of time as a researcher. And about 7 or 8 years ago, I had an opportunity to begin to give back a little bit to the community that had helped me so much. And I had an opportunity to start offering some services and doing some programs. So I made a real transition from a more pure research into really trying to develop programs that met the needs of the community and say thank you in that way.
Amazing. Being a child of immigrants and being an immigrant myself, I'm exposed to a lot of young mothers and women in our community that face a lot of tension and other type of anxiety-related issues, and it's common in many immigrant groups.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Sapna's work with women around tension and stress? So,
as you know, coming to a new country as a young woman is a very difficult, very challenging experience, and it affects many, many women in a lot of ways. Young women often find themselves quite isolated. They don't have their neighborhood networks or their family networks to support them. Perhaps they have very young children or infants. We know that after arriving in this country, South Asian men, immigrant men, work very, very hard and very long hours. And so often a husband is away from early morning till late at night and leaving his wife. She has to stay at home and hold down the household. And this creates a lot of loneliness and stress and tension and leads to a lot of health problems. And it also, for us, another really important issue is that we feel that many young women or women who are middle-aged women of all ages, sometimes because of a lack of English language ability or because of a lack of a little bit of help and support, end up really trapped in the home. They have a lot of work to do at home, but they're trapped there. And we want to help them to sort of do what they can to make a contribution to their families and to into the society.
Amazing. I know we have a clip from one of the major programs at Sapna that's focusing on mental health for the young women of our community. Momita, can you please tell us a little bit about this clip before we tune into it at home?
Sure. This is a participant in our ASHA program, which focuses on tension and stress and combines it with our match savings program. So this woman that you'll see in the clip is a participant who graduated and was able to really find ways in which she could improve her mental health and well-being, but also create a network of support and friendship, and then utilize her match savings to do something for herself.
Great.
আমি মাকসুদা পারভিন বাড়ি, আমার বয়স 37। আমি এই দেশে আসছি আমার হাজবেন্ডের সঙ্গে। আমাদের বিয়ে হয় 1995 এবং আমি এই দেশে আসি 1997-এ। সেই সময় আমি প্রেগনেন্ট ছিলাম, এই দেশে আসছি। ছোট বাচ্চা ছিল বলেই আমি মানে বাচ্চাকে ফার্স্টে কেয়ার করছি। এখন আমি আমার জীবনকে এখন আমি আমার কথা ভাবছি এবং আমার জীবনকে সামনে আগায় নেওয়ার চেষ্টা করছি। আসার পরে এখানে বাইরে সব কিছু দেখে ভালো লাগছে, কিন্তু কষ্ট লাগছে যে এখানে সব একা একা করতে হয়। বা আমি ছিলাম প্রেগনেন্ট, আমার মা, আমার শাশুড়ি, আমার পরিবারে কেউ সঙ্গে ছিল না হাজবেন্ড ছাড়া। তো প্রথম অবস্থায় একা সব কিছু মেনটেন করতে খুব কষ্ট হয়েছে। তার উপরে আবার ছোট বাচ্চা। তখন মনে হতো যে দেশে থাকলেই মনে হয় ভালো থাকতাম। সবচেয়ে বড় কথা, এখানে এসে আমাদের সবচেয়ে বড় প্রবলেম, আমরা ইংলিশে কথা বলতে পারি না। এদেশে সব জায়গাতেই ইংলিশ। তো যেমন অনেক কষ্ট হয়েছে আমাকে বাচ্চার স্কুলে সব কিছু বুঝতে, মেনটেন করতে। তো এই ক্ষেত্রে এখানে এদেশে আমার একজন বড় খালা আছেন, মানে হয়তো আমার আপন না কিন্তু বন্ধুসুলভ, এবং একজন মামি আছেন। ওনারা সবসময় আমাকে হেল্প করতেন এবং না বুঝলে টেলিফোনে কথা বলে ওনাদের কাছ থেকে শিখে আমার বাচ্চাকে আমি সবসময় পড়াইছি। এবং তখন মনে কষ্ট লাগতো যে আমি শুধু সংসার করব, আমি যেটা চাইতেছিলাম কেন আমি সেটা করতে পারি নাই, আমি কেন করতে পারি না, এটা আমার মনে আসতো। কিন্তু আমার হাজবেন্ড তখন আমাকে বুঝাইতো যে তুমি কিছুই করতেছো না, এটা বলা ভুল, তুমি সবচেয়ে বড় একটা কাজ করতেছো, তোমার সন্তানদেরকে তুমি টেক কেয়ার করতেছো। বাচ্চার স্কুলের বাইরেও অনেক সময় দেখা যেত যে হাজবেন্ড কাজে থাকলে আমাকেই হয়তো দোকানে বা ডাক্তারের কাছে বাচ্চা অসুস্থ হলে নিয়ে যেতে হতো। সেই সময়টায় প্রথম অবস্থায় খুব কষ্ট লাগতো যে আমার হাজবেন্ডকে কাজ বাদ দিয়ে এসে আমাকে সেখানে নিয়ে যেতে হতো। আমি একা যাইতে পারতাম না, বাইরে যেতে ভয় লাগতাম, কার সঙ্গে কি কথা বলবো বুঝতে পারতাম না, অথবা ফ্রেন্ডদের হেল্প নেওয়া লাগতো। আরও কষ্ট লাগতো যে মানে এই দেশে আমরা যে অবস্থায় আছি, কাজ করলে টাকা, না করলে নাই। তো হাজবেন্ডকে কাজ বাদ দিয়ে আসে আমাকে নিয়ে যেতে হতো, বাচ্চাকে নিয়ে যেতে হতো। তো ওটা খুব কষ্ট লাগতো। তো আমি খুব চেষ্টা করতাম যে আমার মনে তখন চাইতো যে কেন তাকে আসতে হবে, এটা যদি আমার দেশে হতো হয়তো লাগতো না, আমি একাই করতে পারতাম। এই দেশে আসছি, এই প্রতিকূল এই অবস্থা মনে হয়েছে আমার তখন, মানে নিজেকে খুব ছোট লাগছে যে যেটা আমি একাই করতে পারবো সেটা কেন অন্যের আমাকে হেল্প নেওয়া লাগতেছে। এই জিনিসটা আমার খুব কষ্ট লাগতো প্রথম অবস্থায়। তখন হয়তো আমি অতটুকু বুঝতে পারিনি, কারণ আস্তে আস্তে হয়তো আমার ভিতরে চলে আসছে এগুলো। কারণ মনে কষ্ট লাগতো, এটাই চেষ্টা করতাম, আমি আগাইতে পারতাম না। তারপরে যখন আমি ডাব্লিউএসপির সঙ্গে জড়িত হই এবং আশা প্রোগ্রামে যখন যাই, সেখানে আমাদের অনেক কিছু শেখানো হয়েছে। আমি তখন মানে বাসায় যে আমি থিঙ্ক করতাম যে এই যে কথাগুলো বললো এগুলোই তো হয়তো মানে অবচেতনে আমার জীবনেও ঘটে গেছে। আমার মধ্যেও যে এরকম ডিপ্রেশন ছিল আমি বুঝতে পারি নাই। এগুলোর ক্ষুদ্র ক্ষুদ্র ব্যাপারেই কিন্তু মন খারাপ থেকে মানুষের অনেক বড় কিছু সৃষ্টি হয়। তো আমি আশা প্রোগ্রামে এসে বুঝতে পারছি যে এভাবে আমার ভিতরে এগুলো ছিল, এবং এখানে আসে কথা বলে আমি সেগুলো ধরতে পারছি, আমি নিজেকেই আমি বুঝতে পারছি। কিন্তু কিন্তু এখানে আসে যখন আমি এগুলো ধরতে পারছি, আমি অন্যভাবে কিভাবে চললে আমি ভালো থাকবো সেই খোঁজটা পাইছি। এবং এখানে বন্ধু সৃষ্টি হয়েছে, আমার বন্ধু, আমরা বন্ধুরা একসঙ্গে একটা কিছু করব, সামনে আগাবো, এইটা থিঙ্ক করতে পারে আমার ভালো লাগছে। এবং আশা করি ইনশাল্লাহ আমরা সামনে কিছু করতে পারবো। আর আশা তো অনেক স্বপ্নও দেখাইছে, পাশাপাশি মহিলা হিসেবে নিজের জন্য থিঙ্ক করা এবং নিজের স্বপ্নকে পূরণ করার দিকে আগায় যাওয়া, এটা অনেক অনেক বড় কিছু মনে হয়েছে আমার কাছে।
Allison, what was it like working on that project with the people from the video?
So, working with the ASHA program, which is designed to address tension and also to promote financial and personal empowerment among women, has been a real privilege for me and for the rest of our staff. In designing this program, we really worked very closely with women to get their input about what would really be effective in helping to improve tension and depression and improve women's sense of help and self-confidence. And so opening in, as you saw in the program, our women open savings accounts and start to develop their own financial assets.
I have one question about this. In many ethnic communities, and even in America, treating something like mental health is a taboo topic.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really talk about it.
Right.
And oftentimes it leads to symptoms and illnesses becoming worse.
Mm.
How would you compare the treatment of depression in the United States and the approach to treating tension at Sapna and NYC?
Mm-hmm. Wow, Ivan, I'm so glad you asked me that question, because that's one that's very dear to my heart. In the United States, the kinds of mental health treatments that are available for tension or depression tend to really focus either on taking pills or talking through counseling and therapy. And when we spoke with South Asian women about the experiences they were having, we realized that we needed to do more to address tension in South Asian women immigrants, and that we.
So in this country, we're treating more with medications.
There's a lot of treatment with medication and also with talk therapy, which is one-on-one counseling.
Okay.
And these can be effective treatments for some people, but in general, it is the case that what we wanted to do was improve on these treatments by offering a model, by offering an intervention or program that would offer more, including financial empowerment, helping women build bank accounts and savings, and also build friendships with each other. We feel this is very important to addressing tension.
And what were some of the results? We saw a little bit in the video. Can you tell us a little bit about any other results you've seen from this ASHA program?
So we have a measure of tension that we use at the beginning and at the end of the program, and what we see is that women's tension drops dramatically, and they're feeling much better by the end of the program. And then we also see other changes in their lives, which maybe you'd like to talk about a little bit.
We see women really connecting with one another. Like Allison mentioned, often when they come here as new immigrants, they may not have the companionship that they had before in Bangladesh. They may not have the access to different institutions or resources like before, but once they're in the program, they create these new friendships that really sustain them and that they find as a safe space for them to go to relieve themselves of whatever stress or worries that they have, but then also to encourage each other in terms of looking for work, becoming engaged in school, really becoming active in the community and in their families in different ways than before.
Amazing, amazing. We had a chance to hear a lot about the mental health program at Sapna. Maumita, are there any other major programs at Sapna that you've noticed a significant impact that's helped the mothers and aunties of our community?
Sure. So our programs really focus on health, education, and economic empowerment. We have a very holistic approach. So every program is connected to each other in some way, because we see this as a way to kind of work with the entire person that's coming into our space. And we want to make sure that they are connected to as many things that they need. So we have ESL programs, which are really in demand. English language.
ESL is?
English as a second language.
Okay.
And so for immigrant women, often we find that yes, ESL is one of the things that they really want, and that's a way for them to come into the space and learn about our health programs, and they learn about the impact of maybe immigrating and seeing how their health issues change. A lot of members in our community have diabetes and heart disease, and so it's a way for everyone to kind of gain awareness, make changes in their life, and then take that back to the community.
I'm going to take the questioning back to Allison. So Allison, you've been working with the South Asian community for a long time, and you've had research elsewhere, you know, in India and Bangladesh. What's it been like for you working in the South Bronx with Bangladeshi New Yorkers and the aunties and the women, that we get to work with so often?
It's been a really wonderful experience. I mean, I think that for me, one of the discoveries that I make every day in going into the office and hearing from our participants is that we are working with a group of women, a community of women, each of whom has a lot of strength and a lot of abilities and a lot of capacity, and that our job as an organization is really to sort of unlock the door and make it possible for women to come out and make a contribution and to empower themselves.
Amazing. We have to take a short break, so we'll be right back. To our viewers at home, we're going to be taking a short break. Please stay tuned, and we'll be right back with our program, Time Chat.